Hello? There we go. This is one.
Press that little monitor, tap the monitor.
It's not streaming either. So streaming? Because streaming is here, but it doesn't say it's streaming.
Click on stream.
Isn't this supposed to be both?
2025.
Oh, okay. All right, now does it work? No.
Hello? Nope, nope, green light.
Something's offline back there.
No, this is the only one on.
Let's just, we'll,
Let's just get going.
yeah, let's get going. And, I don't need it.
Hold that for the chair.
I don't need it. I got a big mouth. The City of Bridgeport Inland Wetlands and Watercourse Agency will come to order. It is Monday, November 24th. It's 6:15 p.m. The first order of business is to introduce the members seated tonight. To my extreme right is Egbert Williams, Ali Akbar, Soledad Nunez, Cesar Titero, and Bob Morton, myself, Chairman Mel Riley. And this evening, Vice Chairman Morton will also act as secretary. And we can call the first order of business.
Application 25-04 of Southern Connecticut Gas Company construct a utility bridge over the Island Brook Stream at the addresses of 29 Griffin Avenue, 39 Griffin Avenue, and 43 Griffin Avenue.
Good evening, Matthew Pop, a consultant to the agency. This application is fairly minor. They're just proposing to put in a gas main down the road, and it's going to cross over the brook. I just have the plan be down here in front of me. The beige area is the road. The blue is the brook. You know, it's flowing from the top of the sheet down to the bottom. The purple is the gas main, so it's going to come down the road, and it can't go underneath the bridge. So it's going to come up to the north, pop up, and it's going to daylight over the brook and then back around. So just above the brook, very minor disturbance, in the area. There is woodlands here and over here. So we just had a few conditions of approval if it gets approved. One was to locate the trees on the plan here and here. Maybe they could provide some silt fencing on either side just in case there is any disturbance. The silt doesn't wash into the brook. The next one was there's some vines on the trees right through in here and here. It'd be great if they can cut those. That's the first condition. And the next two is certification from an engineer or landscape person that the plan has been conducted according to the plan. And then the last one was a $1,000 bond. I wasn't even sure if it needed a bond, but I think we always have bonds. So, yeah, so. And that was it. So recommended approval. Again, it's pretty much all in the disturbed area.
Now, is this a new gas line? Or is it
Yeah, I believe it's a new gas line. I was just trying to look at that. I believe it's a new line. So,
Not that it matters that much.
yeah, I was wondering that.
Curious,
Yeah.
there wasn't a gas line there before?
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you, sir. Any questions from the agency? All right, thank you. All right. Hang on to that one. Secretary. Do I have any questions?
No.
No? Would anybody like to speak in favor of this? This is a public hearing, correct?
No public hearing.
Oh, no public hearing, I'm sorry. All right. Any discussion? Anyone like to make a motion? Yes.
Second.
Soledad. I don't know if she made a motion, she was asking.
She said approve with conditions.
Oh, I didn't know if there was a question in that tone or, all right, we've got it. All in favor?
No, it
I
was
mean-
Bob Norton. Seconded.
Oh, okay, okay. We got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Very good.
Yeah, we have that one item. This for acceptance, so
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
thank you. All right. All in favor? Anyone opposed? Minutes are approved. Thank you. Thank you. Happy holidays, because we won't see you till New Year's, to January. All right, that's done. All right, we can start right away, right? Well, I mean, all right, let me just get my stuff out. All right. Good evening. The City of Bridgeport Planning and Zoning Agency will come to order. It is Monday, November 24th. It is 6:17 p.m. The first order of business is to introduce the members seated tonight. To my extreme right is Egbert Williams, Ali Akbar, Soledad Nunez, Cesar Guerrero, Vice Chair and Acting Secretary tonight, Robert Morton, myself, Mel Riley, Chairman. And we can call the first order of business, which is an 824 referral.
8-24 referral, petition of the Office of Planning and Economic Development requesting under Section 8-24 of Connecticut General Statute a favorable recommendation to the City Council to discontinue a section of Calhoun Place to accommodate the completion of the new campus environment for Covey Cathedral High School.
So, for the record, Jonathan Delgado, Deputy Director for the City's Office of Planning and Economic Development. As was mentioned in the agenda, the city is seeking a positive recommendation to City Council for the discontinuance of this section of Calhoun Street. It will require a two-way conversion, and so not only will we be going to City Council, we'll also be going to the Board of Police Commissioners to get approval from the local traffic authority. I think as it relates to process, I can answer any of the questions. This is something that we're doing with the Diocese of Bridgeport, and they have representatives both from Russo and Rizzio, their representation, legal representation, but also Attorney Noonan, who works in the diocese, that can answer any questions or anything else that you'd like to know about the discontinuance.
So why do they need this? What are they doing?
Why do they need it?
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah. What are they doing that,
So that's where I can let Attorney Russo.
no,
explain more about it.
that's not Calhoun.
Chair Commissioners, Chris Russo with Russo and Rizzio, LLC offices at 10 Sasko Hill Road, here on behalf of the applicant. So the applicant has buildings spread out in multiple locations. Right now, currently, there's Calhoun Place, the public street that goes in between them. So they have students that go in between here, and it's just really not safe. The school's doing very well. And so they're looking, this road is not very traveled, but it's still an open road. It's a one-way that goes in this direction to Vine. And so with this, it'll kind of will allow them to have kind of an enclosed campus feel and, keep this connection with the students going back and forth. They'll put a gate over here, and then this would turn into a two-way. But that all has to be signed off by Pavel at
All right,
engineering.
can you show us what the other streets are, just to give us an orientation?
So Washington Ave's here, and
Okay.
then this is Calhoun, the one-way out the Vine, and then Paquonic is running along the north side.
And where is, okay, so where is the entrance to 825?
That's Coleman Street, that's down.
That's down?
Farther down.
Farther down? Okay, but
Yeah, Coleman's
down,
the
all
other
right.
way, correct, sorry.
So where's Coleman?
Coleman is, so like, if you look, here's
But
a.
Coleman runs right
aerial.
along the
Coleman's right
cathedral.
here,
No.
coming down.
Doesn't, it runs between the apartments.
Yeah, but it runs right along, I mean,
No, it runs between the apartment,
There's
Coleman runs right
apartment
between the
building.
apartments. And it goes right to the highway. Then
okay.
you got the apartment to the left, and then you have Colby.
There's an apartment building behind here, that's 62 Coleman Street, that comes down and it.
Okay, my mistake.
It exits on Coleman.
This corner. I go by it almost every day.
That's not it, no, it doesn't show it, sorry. But yeah, it's down here.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
And that's basically it, just create more
All
of a
right,
campus
very
feel for
straightforward.
Quick question, the changing the street is not for, trying to get into any parking lots or anything like that?
Well, it would allow, so this will be a vehicular gate, this will be closed off, and then you'll be able to, but there's emergency access off of Washington, I think. Really, the main entrance is gonna be here, and then they have their parking areas here between the two properties. That, you know, they'll be able to now kind of share and easily move between. There's also an entrance right here on the north of the building.
Okay, that's the entrance I saw, I drove by.
Right.
Commerce Place, that's a one-way street. Yes, they use that street as a parents drop-off. That's the parents drop-off until that line that you put where you said the gate will be. And then if you drive down, there's like multi-family houses down there.
Hi, good evening. Tommy Noonan, the Associate General Counsel of the Diocese of Bridgeport.
Okay,
So, yes, as we understand it, this will become a two-way street. And in here will be a turnaround for buses. And I believe that will also be not just a drop-off. I think drop-off happens in here as well. The idea is, again, to make an enclosed campus for student safety. And also to develop the parish, the schools, you know, St. Augustine's, they've got a cathedral here, and just kind of really give a good student experience for safety purposes and community as well. And I don't think there's going to be major changes to how the drop-off goes. And from here, this is a two-way street, bus being able to turn around, students be able to come through. The gate maybe opens at this point for access from here, but I think the idea, I doubt that's going to be the case. The idea is to keep this safe for the students.
okay.
Yeah, and again, because this Calhoun is one way, so right now if they come in here, they go out here anyway, so it's the same pattern.
So were there already study made for this change? And based on that street, how narrow that street is, that street could be converted into two-way street?
Yeah, so that's what's going before Pavel, but we've looked at it. We think it's not a heavily trafficked street, and so we think it's an appropriate location for it to be abandoned. But that's engineering's doing a whole review and they sign off. That's all part of the abandonment process.
Okay, so right now we're just gonna be
It's just
referring it, so
it's a referral.
they do all the studies and analysis for it.
Does it next, and then it goes to the city council, right, for final, or? You know better.
Yeah, so the next step will go before city council, and then subsequent to that, it'll go to the local traffic authority, who will look at traffic concerns, and they'll get the final sign-off before this will be made official.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you. Would any like? No. No, it's a city referral, thank you. All right, next item, please.
C-1, 2920, 2934, 2954 Madison Avenue.
That's going to be continued.
Petition of
No.
Naftali LLC and Stacy Desabella seeking a zone change approval from the N4 to the NX3 for the 3 parcels.
They asked for a continuance.
They asked for what?
Continuance.
Oh.
Continue.
Is this the second time?
No, this is their
This is the final second time.
Paul and I discussed it this morning. It's
What
their
was the
second one.
second?
The first one was in October.
Oh,
October. Well, you would-
oh, okay, second continue.
So January 26th.
Thanks for clearing that up.
Thank you.
Okay, 26.
Yep.
Next on the agenda is 25-34, 2501 Commerce Drive, petition of CDR-3328 LLC seeking a special permit, site plan and coastal site plan approval to allow for site improvements to the continued use of outdoor storage of new and used motor vehicles and employee parking in the MX2 zone and coastal area.
What's that is?
That's a dealership. What's the dealership called? Right? Commerce Street, Commerce Drive.
Oh, the
I forgot what's that dealership.
Hyundai Belize? The Hyundai?
It's the Fairfield.
Fairfield and,
Yeah, the deal. But what's the name of the
Good
dealership?
evening, James McTighe, professional land surveyor with Arthur Howell & Associates, representing the owners of the property CDR 328 LLC and Bar LLC, Bar Commerce Drive LLC. This is an interesting property. We straddle the town line between Fairfield and Bridgeport. As I go through this, we have a parcel here. This is what we're here for. This is 2501 Commerce Drive, which only shows up in the deed, so that's why I've been using this to describe this parcel. It wasn't even on the tax maps. So,
Well, that whole area is, when they moved
when
the creek,
when I-95 was built, Ash Creek was down through here, through this
right,
gas
they
line.
moved.
And then they moved the
They moved to Ash Creek.
over to here.
Right,
The
that's,
town line didn't move.
right.
Okay.
So, but the town line used to be Ash Creek.
Yeah, so we're here in front of you for this 0.642 acre parcel. We are, the two properties are owned, while they're different LLCs, it's the same owner across the street. The Bar Commerce Drive LLC here, this has been a car dealership for a very long period of time, and we are going to be seeking permission with Fairfield to continue that use. And then we also own this parcel here, which comes up to here, and there's an additional parcel here, 131 Commerce Drive. The whole western side of the property here is leased by the adjoining automobile dealership, the Mercedes dealership.
Okay.
They will continue to lease this area. They have a long-term lease. We are proposing no work in this area. They have a retaining wall and a fence up to this area, and we will be proposing to work basically from this portion of the property over between Bridgeport and Fairfield. And so this parcel has always been utilized as inventory storage for the automobile dealership across the street. Both properties are in a flood zone, and both properties are in a floodway. So in order to, on the 26th, we're going to be making some modifications to the building. This is the service bay, which is at elevation 13.85. The flood zone on this side is an elevation 15. This is part storage. This is at 16.4, and then this is the showroom. We're going to be tearing the showroom down. This is the proposed view of the showroom. The service bay area is going to stay the same. The part storage is 1 foot above the flood stage. But for the remainder of the building, though, we are going to be flood-proofing it to elevation 16. FEMA allows you to flood-proof 3 feet. So we're going to flood-proof 3 feet of the building to comply with FEMA's regulations. And as a result of that, we need to do a little bit of filling around the building, and on this side here and this side here, to make it ADA compatible. And so as a result of that, we will be filling 377 cubic yards at 26 Commerce Drive, and to provide the compensatory storage, we'll be excavating 394 cubic yards at 2501 and 65 to compensate for that. So we want to balance it out so that we don't push the floodwaters off onto anybody else. We're being very sensitive to the environment with this. We've had a code enforcement review with Fairfield. So we've met with them informally and showed them the same plans that you guys are looking at now. They came back to us with several pages of comments that we're working on. And so I wanted to get the process started with you regarding the parcel on this side. And so currently, a portion of this is paved, and then the rest of it is compacted gravel. And so currently, there is no existing drainage on site. And so we are proposing to add a hydrodynamic oil separator to a level spreader to capture the first flush that hits the site, renovate it before we release it back out into the environment. And so that'll be a big plus for this project, because like I said, currently there is no drainage system at all. And then we'll be doing the same at 26 as well too. So we did get, I did receive Bridgeport's engineering's comments, and I have no problems complying with these. And then regarding the special permit, the proposed special permit use and accompanying site plan are consistent with and implement the objectives and policies of the Master Plan of Conservation and Development. The proposed special permit use and accompanying site plan complies with all applicable zoning code regulations. The proposed special permit use and accompanying site plan will not impair future development of the surrounding area. The proposed special permit use will not be detrimental to existing development in the surrounding area because of its height, scale, design, and method of operations. We are surrounded on both sides with other car dealerships.
Right.
The proposal includes adequate safeguards to protect adjacent property and the neighborhood in general from any potential adverse impact. And the proposed use is not likely to cause a depreciation of the value of nearby properties, and environmental impacts along Island Sound will be appropriately mitigated. We also received comments from Connecticut Deep regarding our CAM application, and they were acceptable to us as well. And he made a mention regarding the water quality managed in the BMPs, and we will satisfy that for Bridgeport as well as for Fairfield on this project. And then regarding the CAM application, there are no impacts to the environment from this proposal. We are proposing the hydrodynamic water separators on both sides, Barracuda S4, which removes 80% of the suspended solids. And we will provide the maintenance agreement for the care of any BMP that we use on the site. There are, when we're done with this, there will be no impacts to any of the adjoining neighbors regarding environmental or flooding, and we will address all those accordingly. Does anybody have any questions?
Well, actually, I have a question. Do we have a Goucher, a letter from Goucher? I don't know. I don't have it in my packet, but. Oh, okay. So we have it, so we can. Okay, so there are some comments and. Okay, so that has to be a condition of approval.
Yeah, the Connecticut Deep comments kind of echo the Bridgeport's engineering comments in regards to managing the stormwater. And so we will comply with all aspects of Bridgeport's engineering design manual and satisfy all.
Okay, we'll just make that a condition of approval, if we approve it.
And there is an email from Fairfield requesting
Right.
that any changes that we make as a result of going through their process, that we will bring them back to you for administrative approval. Yeah, so the Connecticut Deep, right here is the edge of vegetation on the property. And then from there, it slopes down into the Ash Creek. We are doing no work in that area at all. We're not removing a single tree. We're not stepping foot in that area, and I have no problems protecting that buffer. And we have no intention of doing anything on that slope or affecting any of that existing vegetation.
Okay. All right, do I have any questions from the commission? No, it's no.
It's a commercial area?
Would anyone like to speak in favor of this application? Is anyone opposed to this application? David, do you have any? I forgot to ask. No. All right, thank you, sir. Matter is closed.
Next, we have 25-35, 1245-1255 Lindley Street. Petition of Cordero Holdings LLC seeking a special permit and site plan approval to construct a two-family dwelling in the N2 zone.
I don't know what's working on.
Good evening, members of the commission and Mr. Chairman. My name is Wilson Carroll. I'm an attorney with Cohen & Wolf right down the street at 1115 Broad. And I'm here tonight on behalf of the applicant, Cordero Holdings. This is a special permit and a site plan application, actually not all that similar than the one I was in front of you last month or the month before with. This is for the development of a two-story, two-family, up and down residence on the subject property, which is in the N2 zone. Single-family housing is permitted as of right in this zone, but you need a special permit to get that second unit.
Right.
The proposed residence is a House B building type under the regulations. Each unit is proposed to have its own entrance, and this design also includes off-street parking. There's a 9-foot driveway right on the right side of 1255, even though that's not required under the regulations. This went through concept review a couple months ago. The main takeaway from concept review is their recommendation to add 2 large new trees, which you can see are sort of at the mouth of 1255 Lindley Street, as well as landscaping for screening along the boundary line between 1255 and 1265. So if you take a look at that plan, you can see there's an existing rock retaining wall, and then there's a proposed low retaining wall sort of right next to it. In between those retaining walls is proposed to be a line of screening. As I explained in my cover letter, 1245 and 1255 Lindley Street are both owned by the applicant, but the existing building, I can pause for a moment, I'll just make sure we have it all on the screen here. No worries. So this is technically 2 parcels, 1245 and 1255. Both are owned by the applicant, but there's an existing building encroachment. So there's already a residence on 1245, and its footprint extends a few feet into the record boundary of 1255. So there's a nonconformity there. And so part of this proposal is, if we were to be approved tonight, before we could pull a building permit, we would have to file a lot line revision map, which would have to go through the process and be accepted before that would be finalized. But the plans that are in front of you tonight show the proposed boundary. So this is as the lots would be situated if the lot line revision was approved subsequent to tonight. With that lot line revision, both 1245 and 1255 Lindley Street would be fully zoning compliant. They meet all the setbacks and all the other relevant requirements of the regulations.
This is the existing house that's there now.
Yes, so on the left side of your screen is the existing residence on 1245.
The touch is not gonna be demolished, right? Or is it?
No, they're not contiguous, so to be separate.
Separate. So it's gonna be the 2 existing house, and what we're talking about is the middle between these 2 houses.
Right, so on the left side of the screen here is 1245, and
Right.
then you can see a little bit of it on the far right.
And the one on the
is-
corner is 1255.
Sorry, say again?
It's 1255, the one on the
The
corner?
proposed new building is would be on 1255. But there's no,
It's the
So
vacant
you-
lot.
Where the tree,
right,
oh,
so,
okay.
yeah, so
That's
that,
why they have to,
yes, so the evergreen
Put
tree
trees
and
back.
the tree behind it would be removed and replaced with trees that are at the entrance of 1255.
Okay.
Does that make sense? So we're looking in the sort of the middle right of the screen, there's an evergreen tree and then a larger deciduous tree behind it. Both of those would be removed, and sort of right where the cursor is where this new residence would be.
Yep.
Okay.
The proposal meets all of the special permit criteria in regulations 11.50.6. I went through them in my cover letter, but I'll just touch them, on them briefly as well.
get them on the record.
Yes, so first, this application is consistent with the POCD, specifically with two goals. First is the housing theme or goal, which includes the equitable goal of encouraging a diversity of accessible household types throughout the neighborhood. It's also consistent with the robust economy theme. It grows the grand list, it reduces the tax burden overall for the people of Bridgeport, and it will result in the development of a vacant lot, all of which are consistent with and further these directives of the PCD. With respect to the second special permit criteria, this application would be fully zoning compliant as proposed, and that's what that permit criteria asks. Special permit criteria 3 through 6 I'm treating them sort of in a related way. They ask whether the proposed residence will impair future development of the surrounding area, whether it would be detrimental to existing development, whether it includes adequate safeguards for adjacent properties and the neighborhood in general, and whether it is likely to cause a depreciation in the value of nearby properties. And I have an exhibit that I'd like to submit into the record. This is a GIS map that I've marked up, and it shows all of the 2- and 3-family homes that are in this neighborhood, as well as the field cards for those homes which confirm that they are zoned multifamily. So I'll hand this out now.
Thank you.
So if you take a look at the map that's in the front of this packet, you can see I've marked the homes in this area with either a 2 or a 3 in red. And then the subject properties, 1245 and 1255, are in blue in the center of the map. And what you can take away from this exhibit is that this neighborhood is full of multifamily uses, including one that's directly behind and adjacent to the subject properties. That's 608 Gurdon Street, which is zoned 3-family, as well as directly across the street. 1264 Lindley is a 2-family, and then there are a number of others just on this block. I could have gone further out, but I decided to focus on what's shown here. This is an area where single-family and multifamily uses coexist comfortably, and therefore there's no risk that there's going to be adverse impacts on existing development or depreciation in nearby property values. With respect to adequate safeguards to protect neighbors from potential adverse impacts, the primary way we've addressed that is by the addition of the screening between 1255 and 1265, as well as the addition of the 2 large deciduous trees at the front. And finally, the last special permit criteria is whether there's any appropriate mitigation to environmental impacts to the sound. We're not anywhere near the sound, so that doesn't apply here. And finally, because we're in an N2 zone, the regulations also have a couple more questions for you in 11.50.6b. So you have to show that the special permit will not be incongruous with existing residential uses, that there won't be any traffic or hazard that's different than existing residential uses in the area. With respect to traffic, as I mentioned, the applicant is including a driveway in this plan, even though it's not required, but that's, I drove down there today. There's a number of cars parked on both sides of the street. Not as bad as other areas in Bridgeport, but the off-street parking is intended to alleviate that. And there is no incongruity with existing residential uses because, as I showed in this packet, there's plenty of multifamily in this area that coexists already with this single family. So I'm happy to answer any questions the commission may have, but otherwise, that's my presentation. Yeah, of course.
Springdale is a narrow street, and that would be enough of the building. No, the trees. You said you're gonna cut down the trees because the building is 17 feet wide, so that's a narrow building. The building is gonna be narrow, so you're gonna have to cut down the trees.
Yeah, they take
Yes.
those
They
trees
take
down.
Somebody's gonna replace them.
Right, so the trees would have to be removed, yeah.
You think the people are going to agree with that? The neighborhood is gonna agree with the cutting of the tree?
Well, the trees are on my client's property, so I understand that they have value as shade trees, which is offset, or the intention is for it to be offset by the additional plantings, but it's my client's trees.
You said there will be a driveway. Is it a driveway for both units or just one?
It would serve both units. It's the maximum width allowed by the regulations, 9 feet.
Okay,
So
so it will
intended to
serve
fit at
both.
least 2 vehicles.
Thank you. One driveway that will serve both units. Oh, that's one. Oh, okay.
Yep, there's a driveway right here, it's 9 foot.
Anyone else? Any other questions? Oh, David, yes. Well, as long as we're done with the questions, David, yes.
I know, there's a dead end right there that curves.
Good evening, Honorable Commission. My name is David Cottingham, and I'm the Design Review Coordinator with OPED. For the summary, we reviewed this project. The applicant came before Concept Design Review on October 7th of this year. The special permit is to allow 2 principal dwelling units within a single House B building type. Initially, staff had identified concerns regarding the building entrances and the on-site landscaping. Since then, the revised plans show that the applicant has addressed these items and have incorporated the recommended revisions into the updated plans submitted for the Commission's consideration. The project includes an on-site driveway, which is intended to alleviate parking concerns associated with the new development. And the applicant also proposes a landscape buffer and a low retaining wall along the rear of the property to provide screening and separation from the adjacent lot to the north. And as the applicant has already mentioned, there are several multifamily homes, one being right across the street. I can actually show that one since that's the closest one. And it's this property right here, and I can get a better angle of it. So
Same configuration.
very, very similar. I believe their house might be the proposed house might be a little bit more narrow, but yes, very similar in idea. And I believe the existing property has its own driveway. Is that theirs? Yeah. Okay. So, again, there will be.
Do you have any idea how long this lot has been vacant?
I believe for a while, but I don't know how many years. But that's all I had.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Would anyone like to speak in favor of this application? You would like to speak in favor? Just a second, sir. We'll get there. Is anyone opposed to this application? All right, step forward, state your name and address and why you're opposed. That's fine.
Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to speak.
Yes, just if you could get up.
My name is Stephen. What?
You want the microphone? He's giving you the microphone.
I'm pretty loud, I can get it. My name is Stephen Bazzi, and I've lived on Lindley Street for 40 years.
Okay.
I own a 2-family house and a single-family house next door. I knew the gentleman who built that house. By the way, it was built in 1953. I knew his 2 daughters. Our section of Lindley Street, I know there's been some changes. We're all 50 by 100 lots. There's 10 houses on one side and 6 on the other. That's Basically, from stop sign to stop sign, you're dealing with about 450 feet, and 450 feet on the other side. Of the 16 houses, there are 5 multifamilies, there's 3 two-families, and 2 three-families. All total, we have about 23 families living on that section of Lindley Street. I always call the section that I live on the nicest section of Lindley Street. Once you cross over Summit, between Summit and Springdale, somehow the way the houses were laid out. This lot, I believe, is 40 by 100, not the 50 by 100, the way the neighborhood was developed over 100 years ago. About 15 years ago, next to the two-family that you showed there, Raul's house, there was a full garden lot, 50 by 100. A builder came, no one opposed it. They built a nice single-family house, driveway to the right, and it's fine, and it fit right in the neighborhood the way the gentleman built it. The sign out front says two-family house. Now, I own a two-family house, and the way I understand a two-family house is that if I go to sell it, I have to sell the whole thing. I can't sell one floor different than the other. If a duplex is built, which I don't think that's what they're asking, but a duplex is 2 individual homes. So on a 100-foot frontage, because when Eric built that house, he said to me once, he said, "Boz, I built it in 1953. I put the house right in the middle so no one could build on either side of me." But he was working with the 50 by 100 lots. So if a duplex is, what's proposed is a two-family, one on top of the other?
Yes.
Yes.
With one driveway?
Yes.
Yeah, because if it was a duplex and it was an individual home, on a 100-foot frontage, you'd have 3 individual houses there. Where across the street, you have 150 feet of 3 individual houses. So if it was gonna be a single-family home, like I said, the parking on our street is pretty backed up. When that neighborhood was built, started to be built in 1901, maybe the landlord had a car, maybe. But now everybody has a car. And you go up the street on a Sunday morning, and there's no place to park. I believe that it's misuse of that 40 by 100. I happen to have grown up on Long Island, and the lots that I grew up on were 40 by 100, but the whole neighborhood was 40 by 100, and they were just single-family homes. The picture shows the house is a beautiful house, and the gentleman who bought it did a beautiful job with it. There's a house next door that's for sale. No one lives there. I can assure you, if there were people living there, you might have 2 people standing up here tonight instead of 1. I'm not opposed to developments in Bridgeport, but they should be the right one and take into consideration the way that if you come up Lindley Street, you cross over Summit between Lindley and Springdale, and you visually look, not with pictures and not with drawings, and you visually look where this proposed house is gonna go, you can just see that it's being sandwiched in there. Because every lot from stop sign to stop sign is on a 50 by 100 lot. You know, I was glad to hear a little bit that it's a two-family house, one on top of the other. First of all, a duplex really wouldn't fit there, because you only have 40 feet. If you have 2 driveways, 10 feet each, you got a 20-foot house, you cut that in half, what are you gonna have, 10 feet on either side? So, that, I don't think would fit there, but I'm still opposed to it because it's not being built on what the original lots were done. I understand in the state legislature, they've made some changes as of recent. That's why some of these things could happen. You know, if the gentleman who owns that house there was gonna do an in-law setup and use a little bit of his 40 feet, I think that would be fine. Or wanted to make an in-law setup to get another apartment, to get another rent, I think that would be fine. But to put a whole nother structure in between the 2 houses, the picture is good, but it really doesn't do it justice. Like if you're walking up the street and then there's a big, beautiful tree there, that tree would have to go. But if you come up the street, like I said, it's only 450 feet on my side of the street, stop sign to stop sign. If we go with the one more street that faces Springdale, then we got 500 feet. 500 feet for 10 houses, and then the other 6 are on the other side. The street looks nice because of the amount of single families that were built. My house was the last house built in 1918, and then there was no houses built. But the other side of the street, what makes our street look nice is because of the amount of single-family homes that were built there. It kind of gave us all a little elbow room, and that is probably one of the nicest houses on our street. It's beautiful the way it sits on a lot. See, the thing is, when you go where the garage is, that used to be Eric's shop, I think you only, I may not be correct, you may only have 30 feet. So you're really squeezing a beautiful single-family house, and then a house, and then the other house that's for sale next door. It's jammed up. Now, if Eric had built his house a little bit more to the right, and the garage came out and you had a full 50 by 100 lot, that might make sense, but you don't have the 50 feet, I believe, if you're looking at the house to the right side. The most land you have is if you're looking at the house from the right side to the other neighbor's house.
All right.
So that's, and the other thing too, lastly, all of the multifamily houses on our street are owner occupied. The landlords live there. And most of the houses on our street, except for a few rentals, I own one, and I believe this gentleman owns, are owner occupied. It's been a good street for me for 40 years. And I like to keep it that way. Like I said, I'm not opposed to development. It should just be the right kind.
All right. Thank you, sir. Anyone else? Rebuttal? Oh, all right. Come forward.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Victor.
Your name and address?
I'm Victor, and I live in 1237
What's
Lindy Street.
your full name?
Victor Rodriguez.
Okay. And where do you live?
In 1237 Lindy Street, right next to this house.
Okay.
I am not opposed for them to build more. Rodriguez. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Sorry, this is my first time ever doing this. So my name is Victor Rodriguez. I live in 1237 Lindy Street, right next to this house. And I am not opposed for them to build another multifamily house, more housing into our community. The only thing that I am worried about is parking situation, because the Lindley Street is as full as it can be right now. Sometimes it gets really hard to find parking, or even other neighbors have parties and in the weekends or even throughout the week that it gets backed up. And we are in the very last of Lindley Street, where it's in the corner. So it's really hard for cars to even see other cars coming through too, or even people walking in the street, because sometimes people walk their dogs or they come from work and stuff like that. So,
Well, sir, we don't have any parking regulations in the city of Bridgeport, so.
yeah, I know. I'm just trying to.
We really can't consider that.
I'm just trying to just speak out a little bit, just to make sure that we are being heard as.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you.
Anyone else opposed? Rebuttal?
Thank you. Very briefly, and for the record, Wilson Carroll with Cohen & Wolf. I appreciate Mr. Bozzi's and Mr. Rodriguez's input. Just a few comments. Confirm this is not a duplex. I understand the sign said two-family houses, so there could have been a little confusion there. I would have put two-family house. With respect to 1265, it makes sense to me now that it's up for sale. We tried to, one of the things that came out of concept review is, why don't you try and reach out to that person who lives there, because they're the one that would be most impacted. We were not able to do so. As you can see from the abutters list and the mailings, that property is owned by either a bank or a trust based in Texas. So they got a letter. They didn't show up tonight.
You're a corporation.
And notwithstanding that, we still included that landscape buffer, because I think that's just an appropriate use of that portion of the land. And just with respect to the narrowness in general, you know, I understand looking at the picture, it looks fairly narrow. I think part of that is due to the trees that are there. I think without the trees, it'll make a little bit of a difference. And also, I went to the site today with a tape measure based on something I noticed on the plans, which is that 1265, which is the property that's owned by the trust, is right up against the property line. And I measured it at, not to, you know, they're not here, so I won't hold my tongue, but it's a 4.5 foot to the setback. So that looks like a zoning, like an encroachment to me, right? It looks like it's violating its own setback. And even notwithstanding that, we still meet the 15-foot minimum separation distance, and there's either, I think it's a 9-foot, it's either 9 or 11-foot setback on that side. 11 feet.
That's what I think it shows, on the right side,
Right.
towards the house in the corner.
Exactly.
And then on 15 feet on the other side.
Right. So we're above that 6-foot minimum side setback. We meet the separation distance. I understand, you know, and I think those factors, you know, when you see it on the ground, I think it'll look, you know, not quite so narrow as it does. Let me just briefly look through my notes. That's all I have for the commission.
All right, thank you. The matter is closed, and that ends the public hearing for this evening.
So it's still within. Oh, man. It's gonna be thin like. It's gonna be narrow then. It's a narrow house, right? Sorry.
Well, that's where they're going. That's where they're going up and down instead of side by side. People even talking.
Isn't that on compliance?
Yeah,
Because
it's
it's
7:02.
not 50 by
Well, we're not
100,
done
it's
yet.
40 by 100.
We're not done yet.
That's what they're saying.
Yeah, but.
Because it's 40 by 100.
Yeah, but the guy is right. What he's saying is what's that?
Yes, yes,
And when
exactly.
you go around Springville,
All right.
listen, I went there. I was.
Are you
Yes.
raised back there? So, okay. I don't think we need them right now, but. Right, we'll call if we need to. 824 referral, pretty straightforward.
Make a motion to approve.
A second. Oh.
All in favor?
Aye.
824 referral is approved or positive. Or favorable, there you go. All right, C1, that's continued. We have to vote on it, though.
I'll make a motion to continue to January's meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 2534, 2501 Commerce Drive. Okay, Soledad?
I make a motion to approve it with conditions.
Second.
Engineering conditions.
Oh, we gotta state the conditions or? Oh,
Engineering conditions. We've got,
Got a bunch of conditions.
Mentioned that the BMP, which is best management practices, in case you didn't know, the applicant should demonstrate to the commission that proposed BMPs, best management practices, will be sized to effectively treat the volume of stormwater that will be generated on site. Should be located so that they will be effective in treating the stormwater and preventing adverse impacts to Ash Creek. That was mentioned by the applicant. A maintenance schedule shall also be included in the plan to ensure that the BMPs continue to function properly after the project is complete. And there was a recommendation that the commission require that the vegetation buffer remain undisturbed along Ash Creek as a condition of approval, which he has agreed to.
Okay, we got that.
oh, that was, no, that was the wetlands.
No. Culture doesn't normally.
So, the condition we approve on D, conditions and recommendations.
Deep,
And engineering.
Engineering,
Yes.
and Fairfield.
Oh, Fairfield, yes. Fairfield requested to be,
Right, but we have to, no?
no?
If there's any changes, we have to.
This is Bridgeport.
Okay, okay, take that off. And D, yep. Thank you.
No,
Okay, didn't have conditions, right?
as per
Per
plan.
plan,
With the
with condition.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. All right, now we're getting down there. 2535, 1245, 1255 Lindley Street, seeking a special permit and site plan approval for a two-family with conditions which have already been proposed.
I have a question. Isn't, okay, the lot is not 50 by 100, it's 40 by 100, correct?
The two lots, the new lot will be 45.
45.
45 by 100.
Oh, so it's
Right,
45
because they're gonna
by
modify,
100.
right. They're gonna move,
With 15 on one side and 11 on the other side. That's what the diagram shows.
So 45 by 100.
15 on the left side.
Not
You're facing the
bad.
house, 15 on the left.
Let them be.
And on the right, 11. Yeah, whatever they say.
Motion
Motion
to
to
approve.
Second, oh, go ahead.
All in favor?
Give it to him, give it to him.
With the conditions?
With conditions. Yep,
Yep. The trees?
the trees, the fence, he also said driveway for
Was it
both
a fence or a
units.
retaining wall?
Retaining wall.
Retaining wall.
Retaining wall.
Removed and replaced.
Yes.
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 No. No, the trees are separate because he's taking down those one large and one evergreen, small kind of.
Yeah. 65. And the driveway to accommodate both units? Oh,
That's part of the plan.
oh, that's part of the plan, okay.
Now, do we want to also mention the lot line revision?
No, we could do a lot line revision because it's as per plan, so if they're gonna make any changes to the lot line, we'll have to come back to you, because you're approving a two-family of 45 foot width lot.
Okay, so we don't have to remember, okay. Okay,
So it's 45.
45 by 100.
Okay.
all right.
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Do we want to do, we'll do other business before we do minutes.
Yeah, that's,
The committee meeting.
The committee meeting, just, yes.
yes.
What are we putting on the record? Oh, the email. I think there's a motion.
Just put it into the record. I
Isn't
don't-
there a motion gonna be?
No,
No, there's nothing to do.
I thought there was a motion.
right, because it was only 4 people, so it wasn't a 4. So this is just information to right. And you can decide if you need to get something. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I don't know if there's, Should we vote on establishing a committee? We did?
We
Oh,
did?
okay. We did vote on it? Okay. I thought it was kind of.
I thought it was for
All right,
making a committee.
fine.
Wait, tomorrow.
Remember, this way, maybe when I bring it up on January.
Uh, all right, and then minutes. Anyone want to approve the minutes?
Second.
Who made the motion? Egbert? Okay. And we have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Minutes are approved. That was what, he's fat.
I second.
All right. All in favor? Meeting adjourned. And Paul, it is 7:10.
They don't leave it in the garbage can here.
They don't anymore. Just leave it.
Just leave them on the table.
The garbage can's right here.
Happy Thanksgiving and happy holidays, because we won't see you till January.
Well, the wife's working on Thanksgiving Day and Black Friday.
What does she do?